So today is the final bake of the Beyond Impossible potato bun, a plant-based burger that is specifically designed for the Beyond and the Impossible burgers. Well, any burger that you decide to cook at home is going to suit these perfectly. Now, if you haven't checked out the first two videos, then click pause and go and have a look. I'll leave a link in the card above and the video description. But right now, let's get these buns baked. Well, I hope you enjoy this recipe, guys, because I've really enjoyed playing around with it over the last couple of videos. It's been really nice filming this process, and I'll leave the ingredients for the recipe in the video description. So straight in with 180 grams of cooking water from the potatoes, and next we've got 6 grams of dried yeast, followed by 150 grams of all-purpose flour and 150 grams of strong bread flour. Next, we've got 9 grams of granulated sugar, followed by 90 grams of cooked, cooled and riced potatoes. 6 grams of sea salt, followed by 21 grams of extra virgin olive oil. And lastly, 15 grams of barley malt extract. Now, while I bring this mix together, we'll chat about the potatoes. Now, as I explained in the last video, I don't have a huge choice of potatoes in my vegetable shop here in Greece, but I've picked a white Cypriot potato. Now, it's not waxy, it's got a light and fluffy texture when it's cooked. And you can experiment with different types of potatoes, but the key is to boil them and then let them steam and cool down to room temperature before you rice them or mash them. That way they're going to lose most of the excess moisture and stop our dough becoming too watery. Now, you only need a couple of medium-sized potatoes for this recipe, and anything left over you can make some bubble and squeak with. And don't forget to reserve the cooking water for the recipe. You don't want to be tipping that down the sink. Right, let's get this covered and left to rest at room temperature on the bench for 15 to 20 minutes. And for reference, my kitchen today is 33 degrees Celsius or 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, now we can get this turned out onto the bench and knead it for 10 minutes or so. Now, it's worth remembering that your potatoes may end up a bit drier or a bit wetter than mine, so always be prepared just to adjust the hydration if necessary. And the same goes for flour. As I've said before, it's not all created equal and will absorb different amounts of water. Now, once the dough is smooth, we can ball it up, pop it back into our bowl and leave it to prove at room temp. After an hour and a half, it's nicely proved. We can divide this up into 6. Now, I prefer to use scales, but you really don't need to. You can definitely eyeball it. Now, the dough is really nice and soft. It's been an absolute pleasure working with this potato dough over the last 3 videos. And these buns have made it onto our baking schedule at home. They really are spot on for burgers or perhaps anything like that. Now, once they've been shaped into balls, we can use some flour and push the dough balls down just to create a flatter kind of pancake shape. And this is going to help with the final shape of the bun. So take this opportunity to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 355 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm not using a baking stone. These are going to slide directly onto the center shelf in the oven. And the oven has been set to bake mode, which means the fan is switched off. So pop the dough balls onto a flour tray, they're going to get covered and they're going to sit out again to do their final prove at room temperature. Okay, so all proved and they took about 1 hour. Now these are going to bake for around 18 minutes, but here's a tip. Don't overcook them. You don't want too much colour on these rolls because you want to make sure you keep a really nice soft texture on both the crumb and the crust. Now, I set out to create a soft plant-based burger bun that was strong enough to hold up against the burger, but soft enough so it gives and doesn't squeeze the burger out as you're eating it. I love the matte finish on these buns, and it's almost understated until you put it into your mouth. Now, I've had great fun baking these, and it's given me an excuse to eat a few of these plant-based burgers too, which I've actually really enjoyed, but I'm really interested to know what you guys think. So get these onto your baking schedule and keep me posted. Right, as ever guys, a huge thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Stay tuned.